Welcome back. All right. Well, I know we're like out of time. This exercise is so good, but it does take a lot of detail. Um, so is anyone up for going around the room, or do you guys all have to head out right away? What do you guys think?
I need to head out. I have to go to office.
Okay.
Start of my day. All
Do
right.
you want to share any thoughts as you head out, Kanika?
No, I think it was a good exercise. I won't say it was my favorite. I do feel that the aha moment is not as much as the other exercises that we've done in the past. But it's a good exercise. Just like the process is good. I think the closing part, where how you put that perspective into the main topic, I I don't know if I completely understand that right now. Or I don't know if it's that helpful as the previous amazing exercises we've done. But I think it's still a fun exercise to do. Like you said, the teapot perspective and other types of perspectives. So yeah, it was helpful. It was definitely helpful.
Right. And
Thank
it
you.
is, yeah, and it is one of those more like things that are like there's a reason why we do assumptions and limiting beliefs first because it is such a I mean, a lot of people have different perspectives about perspective, right? And this exercise, there's definitely times that you'll know this would be really helpful, but it doesn't mean it's going to be helpful all the time for everyone, for every situation. There's certain ones where it just clicks.
Okay.
My best
Mm.
advice to all of you is like a little bit more, more just practice it. Just think about playing with perspectives yourself, and make it, try to make it fun. Like, okay, if I was to embody, like I was talking to Kanika about a teapot perspective, because Robin's teapot was going off.
I love that idea. Yeah.
Then that could be angry, or it's whistling, so it could be flirty. Like, I mean, who knows? Like, it's kind of unlimited, right? Or it could be like armor. Who knows? Or comforting, right? It could be a comforting. So there's so many possibilities. So it can be kind of overwhelming. I think. I mean, I felt that way before too. All right. Well, Kanika, I know you gotta go, but so glad you could be here and everyone else. I know that our time is up.
Thank you.
Want to share takeaways?
Yeah.
Anyone? Sarah?
Like you said, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a good, no, I think it's a great exercise, but it needs to be within the right person, the right creative kind of person that can think in those. There's some people that just can't think, but the teapot example was a stationary example, I don't know what you call it, but I think it's a good exercise depending on the individual.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think everyone could benefit from a different perspective.
Right.
But you can even do part of it. Like, well, what might be an empowering way to look at that?
Yes.
Okay, what embodies that? Well, how could in this kind of like even create that? That can be helpful too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone else have takeaways you want to share or questions to ask?
I feel like I have a much better handle on it now, and some of the things that like Sarah and I talked about were almost like exploring the other senses, like while we're wearing these perspective lenses, and what are you hearing? What does it feel like? What are you like? Just another way to try to put yourself into that mindset. And I think like everything that I asked Sarah, I asked about, if you were gonna have a color with this perspective, what would it be? Just like in my mind, it's like, okay, you can put on those lenses. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Very cool. That's great. Ask about every sense. I know we didn't have time with Robin and I, but that's a great way to get into everything. Like, what color is it? Awesome. Well, I'm glad you feel better about it, JC, and then it went well. Sarah, Kellen, or Eddie, anything to say or as we close out?
Yeah, for me, I don't know if I get anything, and I feel is a little bit confused about how move the one perspective for another one. You know, maybe because my way to be, I'm so straight, direct to the point, like like Kelly say, I'm the same way, and and I agree with you. Is a practice, you know. It's very powerful and important exercise but need practice to to know how to play, you know.
Agreed. Sarah, what are your thoughts?
Well, I loved it. Well, just to kind of take what JC said a little further with the senses, what was so neat was when she was asking, like, what do you hear? And I was like, I hear light classical music. Like, I just that is something really specific. But I have this meeting in the morning that I'm nervous about, and we were talking about it. I was like, I'm going to listen to my light classical music, and I'm going to think of this color and and wear a green shirt or whatever that's calming, you know. And it was neat to take all those sort of sensory experiences and ideas and make them into something useful that I could actually try to apply this week and see what it did. So I loved it. Mm-hmm.
It made it tangible.
Yeah.
That's what you go
It's
back
really
to. Mm-hmm. That's what you go back to the original thing and like application, even if there's not an original challenge, but like, well, in what area of your life or what situation would this perspective be helpful? You know, like Sarah had something coming up, but like, how could you employ that perspective? Oh, where the color, or you just never know. Like even just thinking about it can be really powerful too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, as we close out, anything to add, Kellen? Any thoughts?
I mean, I was kind of resisting this one. I just kept kind of thinking of it as a mind game, and I don't know. I just don't put a lot of value on mind games. So, but that kind of goes against that creativity that I strive for. I think it could be useful. I just gotta work around my resistance to it. Because I don't know, I kind of feel like I know what I think and I know how I feel. And, I don't know, just shining a different colored light on it is not going to change things for me. I don't know.
But it could. It could for other clients. There's definitely certain things where this exercise might not be as helpful. It definitely does take practice and like it's out of the box, right? It's definitely out of the box. But just like we were saying, Kellen, like you really like clients, like you were mentioning, that like bring a fresh perspective, and that's exactly what it is. Just getting a new perspective, something that's empowering, and then you can apply it to like how you look at life. So it is like out there, but yet it's like makes a lot of sense. And so maybe what I'd suggest for you is maybe using it in like a small way and kind of building into it. So for example, like, well, what, you mentioned your practical perspective. So you might be like, okay, well, how could I maybe even freshen that up to be more empowering to me when I look at something?
Yeah. I think there's definitely some benefits. So thank you.
Yeah, and I'm curious too, Kellen. I know we gotta go, but this is so fun. But you're such a creative person. Like, what if you looked at it like, captured like how you feel when you're doing an art project with your daughter, and then looked at, something else from that like creative perspective.
Yeah.
And then how it affects how you see things. Like, and even though it might not change the reality of things, but it can affect how we work through it because we have a fresh perspective. But I know it's out there. I encourage you guys all to practice it, have fun with it. Let me know if you have any questions about your assignment. And I know, Kellen, I did owe you an email. I replied before class, but let me know if you have any other questions, and all of you feel free to reach out if you need anything, okay? Okay. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.